Hi, this is the first video in the little mini series that I'm doing about just like random help stuff. The first thing that I want to do is about headers. So as you can see, there's a RMD file over here, there's the output over here. It's very simple. I have a header and I have a paragraph, right? The whole reason why I have a header is because of this hashtag. But you'll notice that I have a space here. If you delete the space and try to knit it again, it's going to interpret that as just a normal paragraph. So you do in fact need this space. And this works regardless of what level header it is, right? I could do a 2-level header, a 3-level header. If I don't have a space, it's not going to produce the actual header. I put the space in there and the header exists, right? And the whole idea of like level 1, level 2, level 3 headers is not just for like the size of the actual header on the PDF. There is an actual thing where if you go into here, this is the outline. This will appear no matter where you open up the PDF, regardless of if it's in a browser, if you're doing it on like preview on a Mac or something like that. There's always going to be this outline, right? Headers define the outlines. So for example, I'm going to make a very simple outline of setup, part 1 and part 2, right? This kind of mirrors your project kind of situation. If I do that, it'll have sections for each one of these. And then if I do level 2 headers, you'll notice that all of these are level 1. For example, my part 1 might have 2 problems. I have problem 1 and I have problem 2. And maybe the same for the second part as well. I have 2 problems, right? Now, if you look in the outline, those two parts of the two problems of the 2 parts can be nested inside of the main sections, right? And you can chain this all the way down. Maybe problem 1 of part 1 has part A and B. I do a level 3 header, A, level 3 header, B, right? I knit this. It's going to nest those parts, those sub parts inside there as well, right? So there is an actual order to your headers. And make sure, you know, that is a thing. And then the final thing that I want you guys to be careful about is just for in certain situations, you'll have like, basically when you're making a plot, right? If I am going to make a plot in this code chunk, right? I'm gonna do X, oh my gosh, I can't type, iris, sepal length, Y, iris, sepal width, and I'm just gonna do plot, X, Y, right? This is the most basic plot, not even using ggplot. This is just the most, the default kind of thing, right? I make the plot, which is great. But then why does this not turn into a header? We saw that it correctly turned into a header before. The reason why is because there is no extra line, empty line between this code chunk and the actual header itself. So I put a line there, right? And you'll see that this turns into a header like you actually want it to. And there we go. Now it's an actual header and it exists in the outline as well. If I didn't do that, it does not exist in the outline. There's only problem 1, there's no problem 2. Yeah? All right, that's the first video.